Callahan going through his toy stash inside the cab right now. Find all kinds of good stuff. But we're gonna be working on, quote unquote, the OG tow rig. Because, well, it's kind of funny what you consider a tow rig now versus what it was then. If it was a truck back then, it was a tow rig. But originally this truck was single wheel, 6-speed manual, NV5600. And it had the gooseneck rails in the bed when I bought it. So I was like, oh man, I just get one of those gooseneck adapter plates and this thing's ready to go to work. Throw an exhaust brake on it, a little bit of horsepower adder, and what else did I do? Fuel pump, simple stuff. But now we've got a dually swap. This thing's really come together. But there's one thing after towing with it G56 the other day that I still remembered that I just did not like about this truck. We're gonna delete that today. Let me show you. Who's here? Callahan opened the doors. Why'd you open the gates? I thought somebody was showing up. So here's the dilemma and the thing that we don't like. Better yet, let me super jump up into there. So these rails are absolutely super simple to install. Put a hole through the bed and a bracket goes underneath. Boom, boom. Not a lot to go on there. It just, I'll show you when we get down to the bottom. So you can put options of a gooseneck hitch in here like I got, or you can put a fifth wheel contraption with the scaffolding that lifts it up about a foot and insert kingpin for towing your camper. But there is an inherent problem right here. Well, we just have so much stuff going on, and the gate's auto closing, buddy. These things, I even welded along the sides of them and ground them so that they're wedge shaped. But after a little while, they just wiggle loose again. So we're gonna take that out. We're gonna take this out. I'll show you what we're putting in. So you see that truck right there? Purple truck? Bought that from a guy named Andrew up north. And I told him I needed I put the word out, I needed a bed for a 3rd gen. He said, I got one, but it's white. I'm looking for silver, but I'll sell you the bed and the B&W turnover ball that came with it, because I guess they put a flatbed on the unit for a pretty good price. So my cousin was nice enough. He went up there, dumped her the other day, snagged the bed, already put it on the truck. But basically, we're going to use this hitch, slap it in the truck. These things are super expensive nowadays. B&W has worked with the channel in the past, but you know, if it's a good price, let's go for it. I'm down with it. Let's put this in the truck. We're going to have to probably do a little TLC to loosen up some bolts, because I think it's got to come out in a couple pieces, or go in a couple pieces without taking the bed off, ideally. But we'll look on the other truck to confirm how this goes in. We'll figure it out. Man, this one looks a lot narrower. I wonder if they got them different for a short bed. Let's look. See how these go on there? It's just a bracket that clamps around the frame, and then this back one here is just like a U-bolt. So we got to get that junk off there real quick, somehow or another. Where do you work? I don't even like you anymore. Let you see. Oh my. I towed with that, and that's nice, real nice. What's going on, bud? Oh, it's a carriage bolt. I see. We gotta do a little finagling and get the hand back in there. There we go, bud. Just got one more bracket on the other side. Hey, stay down off that tire.
What's this?
That's the camera.
People got.
I got it. Leave her out there. Oh man. We'll just have to get the bolts to fall to the ground. Here's my idea so that I can kind of cheat this system. Normally you put those 2 rails, or put that rail in there, put that thing in there with the hole in the thing, and then you have to put it all together when it's in there. I'm gonna try and lift the bed. I got all the bolts except for the back 2 out, but I gotta lift it up. Shoot, quite a ways, to be honest with you. Got about 1 inch gap. We need at least 2 inches, and then the center is going to be a little bit more than that. So we're going to see if we can do something here. Yeah, she's hitting. That's something. She's up quite a bit. Ooh, might be enough. Should have drilled my hole first, but we got it up. Let's see if we can wrestle the big Larry in there. What the hell was that? Wow, that's got to go up a lot right there. I think I'll go to the other side, slide it this way, but I got to take the U-bolts out for the safety chains. Need like another inch. So close. That saved a ton of... It's tight fit to get this junk in there without doing something like this. And they're already bolted together. Rusted Loctite involved. Oh. Oh, come on, baby. Take her home. Oh, sweet. All right, now. Cool. I set her down a little bit. I still haven't drilled my holes. I left the 2 back bolts in so that it would have, I mean, look how much I got this thing just to the moon. I got 2 back bolts in so that it kind of keeps it lined back up. I don't want to go all the way down. Oh, it's hitting that right there. We're not all the way over. Whoopsie daisies. There we go. I had to fire up the old installation protocol. For the long bed, we need 47.5 inches from right here. So I need to get up in there with the 4-inch hole saw, do some measuring. All right, it's really simple. There's 11 of the down ribs. So you just go to number 6 from one side and you're there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're in the center. Need to find our 47.5. Something like that. Double check. What's the difference? All right, measured it 19 times, drilled a hole, a simple bit. Yep, we're in business. These are the holes you can't come back from. Kind of like truck stuff, yeah. They make a special drill gun for doing this kind of stuff. It's called a hole hog. Wow. This is a little bit more of a badass drill motor than the last one. But You'll burn up drill motors real quick doing these bigger hole saws. Bigger holes. Look like we just need to move that a little bit and we're good to set that down. You know when you're putting together a IKEA piece of furniture or something like that, you're like, I can figure it out. Or you could just look at the instructions and just get her done. What is this thing they got going on here? Cut wire? You don't cut no wire. I don't know what they're talking about there. But just to make sure I get everything put together right, we'll just go through and restart the directions. Restart? I don't even know if I got all the bolts. To my surprise, we have all the hardware. Got the big bolts set up in there right now. That's a little sprung, so the bolts are just actually held in there because this thing's kind of flexing out because there's that gusset right there that you gotta flex. That's actually not a gusset, that's actually the box tube slides into the box tube and I weld that up right there. So let's see how well we did. Should pop up through? Dang near. We'll get the bolts on the other side and pull it over. How about that? I figured out what the problem here is. The hole's where it should be, but the hitch isn't quite where it's at. I moved it over a little bit, but you know, geometry of it, if you move that just a tiny bit there, the outcome's going to be greater, so it should absorb that about ½ inch I got there. You see it up there on the bed? My hand's in the way. But I'm down there tapping on the biggest thing I can hit, which is the receiver for the hitch. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ball in there, but look at this bad boy. This thing's been sitting out in the cow pasture for I don't know how many years. I had to tap it out of there a little bit with the ball peen to get it out, but realistically this thing doesn't have a ton of wear on it. So that's nice. What the hell? Where's the Tom? Where's the handle at? Don't get too excited about that. Let's see how she fits. Clean her up a little bit, should go a long way. Yeah, boy. Let's go hook up to a trailer once we clean up this mess and see if it feels sloppy like the last one did. It's not going to, but we're going to do it for you. Got her hooked up to the big gooseneck dump trailer. Now this trailer stickers at around 7,500, 8,000 pounds before Diamond C actually implemented scales at their place. This one right here, 8,800 pounds is what it's stickered at, 25K rated super single dump. Now I actually did scale this thing because I do go to transfer station and dump junk. And this trailer with the 5,500 is 19,400 pounds with the gear and stuff I got in it right now. So I'm going to say, yep, it weighs real close to that. Definitely heavier than normal. But I'm going to go ahead and I need to move this rig because I'm going to put the new trailer, park it right here. I got to do some shimmying. But I want to see how this thing tows. We're going to state the obvious and point out that, yeah, we got all kinds of bedroom again. It is nice to see freedom in here. It's legit. And some of the big bolts back here for the B&W actually used those old holes right there. And you can see that sucker is actually walking around a little bit. Those rails, they're dumb. They're obsolete. Anybody that's running those now, no good. If you want to run a B&W, or if you want to run a fifth wheel, mind you, you can get one of these and it sits on your rails or sits in your bed and everything like that, and big load distribution, and it just goes right into your B&W turnover ball slot. I was gonna say, if this tow goes good, then I'll take this truck to work tomorrow, but I need to bring some fuel, and I gotta bring the new truck for that. So let's find a home for these. Sure, let's do the frame, figure it out. I know, if you saw that comment below, we need a different spot to the frame. Who's texting? We'll figure it out. Evil Knievel. Gear ratios are a little bit different on the G56, and I had an 06 Laramie truck and I sold it because I thought I had 410s, but it turned out it was just the trans. But if this thing's gonna just not really go out of town and just tow, I'm okay with that. So that's why I wasn't concerned when I found, bye bud, found this 06 G56. That's a lot to talk. Oh, seatbelt. Couple things to point out right off the bat. Don't need to tow with this truck. A lot of this stuff has just been kind of because it redirected stuff towards other projects. And like I got this hitch because I bought the bed for that 04 truck. I bought this G56 so that NV 5600 could come out of this truck and go on the other one, rather than just buying one trans to upgrade one truck. I upgraded this truck and the other truck by buying this G56, and I freaking love it. This truck is so much nicer now. And if you know anything about torsion axles, when the rig that you're towing has torsion axles and it's empty, it does a lot of bouncing. Wow, this thing's got some power. Never mind, it's got no torque. Come on, horsepower, RPMs. So with that old hitch, that thing just beating up, bouncing around is obnoxious. And it made you feel, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, reckless using that set of rails. We have discovered that the bolts weren't loose, but they weren't torqued, and this feels completely different using this hitch, as it should, because there's significantly less points of contacts, tons of joints and bolts that you don't need anymore because you're not bolting through sheet metal with spacers, gaps, and everything. It's just so much better off doing this. And really, judging by how those rails were installed, I said it earlier, I thought they were possibly easier to install. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's just as simple to install a BMW turnover ball. You don't get any extra added benefits by using the other rig. And if you think that this one doesn't have the support under it, it's got that 16 inches by the bed width inside for the BMW itself, its brackets and everything. So you'd be sitting on top of that with your sheet metal when you're running a companion fifth wheel hitch. Yeah, this is so much better. We'll go ahead and flip a U up here. What was that? Oh. Reflector's got little grooves. You probably got that in your area, so the snowplow don't take it, you know. And well, we did have a bunch of snow here this year. Can't say that. Every time I do, we get a bunch of snow. So I also have airbags with the onboard air on this truck, because a 5500 I don't think really need the airbags. I mean, it helps a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, yeah, I got them. We'll use them. But on a 3500, oh, brother, makes all the difference. It makes it feel like a 5500 when you need to tow. So this old girl's got near 340,000 miles on it. When you push it hard, towing, it you can smell oil. I don't think it's anything bad. It's still got good oil pressure and it's got no blow by. But I'd rather not on a full-time basis. But look at that setup, man. You wouldn't know that that trailer costs way more than that truck. Wow. Oh, I forgot I got the deck on the neck up on the top too, so that's even more weight. Solar panel fell down. Oops. See it up there? We'll double check the bolts on this side. But I think we are ready to freaking rock and roll. Come here, solar. Get up in there. That was me trying to beat it over. I clipped the bed a little bit. Oops. But pin's not in a bind. This thing pulled itself out of the way at all?
It does. Okay, good.
Good. This U-bolt that goes around the frame, you got to bend your brake line slightly away from it because you got to, it's tricky, but you don't want to leave your brake line rubbing on something like that no doubtedly will move. I like it a lot. Another big area that I might not have said to you guys about that other hitch, yeah, slop bouncing around and everything, but when you hit the engine brake easily right off the bat, it would make that thing clunk because the trailer weight be pushing forward, and then when you hit the throttle, it go back. So it just continuously, just no thanks. And they're rated for 25,000, but that slop is just a wear item, and it's just going to get it beat up. I guess only thing left on the list for this truck, which I'm not really going to be doing anytime soon, would be it would be nice to have a set of aluminum wheels on this thing, some Alcoas, but it's very difficult to find a set of 4th Gen ones that are in good shape and not 2 arms and a leg. So let's see how the trailer brakes work. Oh, and I'd like to get a different brake controller. That's a simple feature, because this Prodigy, it just kind of, it's trash. It's just saying it's just ready to rock and roll. Where's Callahan? Is he inside? There he is. He's got his basket of eggs. It was just Easter. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one later on. Bye. Yeah. Hi, bud. Check this out. Thanks to the new B&W hitch. Well, receiver hitch. I got a companion. This is actually for, well, it doesn't really matter, but mainly bought it for hauling junkers off. Such emergencies, I can use this hitch in the back of my new truck since it's got a B&W in it. But pretty much everything I have now has got a B&W turnover ball option, and or some of my buddies or family members. So got the camper on there. What do you think, bud?
Yeah.
Let's drive for a little bit first.